I've had the good fortune to kind of tour around the state this week with Senator Johnson and his wife, and let me tell you, this is a rally here. A lot of very exciting things going on in South Dakota this year, and this seems to be the epicenter of it right here. So we're happy to be back here tonight. And as Bill kind of pointed out to everybody, we probably read the report last week that this state, South Dakota, is now a toss-up state in the presidential election. That means one thing. The polls don't matter anymore. This is strictly a butts in seats proposition now. How many people we get to the polls on election day, Barack Obama is going to win South Dakota. You know, in the 4 months that I've been campaigning for the Public Utilities Commission, we've had the opportunity to run all across the state talking to people. And one of the big things I'm talking about is wind energy, and one of the most frequent questions I always get is, well, why don't we have that now? We're the fourth windiest state in the nation. That wasn't really a joke, but we are in fact the fourth windiest state in the nation, but we're 26th in actual production. And when I'm elected to the Public Utilities Commission on Tuesday, we're going to do better than that. Because we need to build this industry from the ground up. The Public Utilities Commission is a group uniquely suited to bring together our utility companies, our rural electrics, our tribal leaders, and our consumer groups to chart out the next 10 years in South Dakota energy. And when we get that accomplished, we will not only be ahead of it for ourselves in South Dakota, but we will be a national leader when it comes to renewable energy. And this isn't simply a matter of energy, because with just wind energy, someone's got to build these turbines. Someone's got to fix these turbines. Someone has to maintain these turbines. We are talking about a brand new economy for South Dakota, and it can all begin right here if we get to the polls on Tuesday and elect the right people into here. One of the better parts of the campaign trail has been a couple weeks ago I was in Sioux Falls, and I spent some time with some fifth graders at Hayward Elementary there who wanted to know what it was like to run for office and whatnot. And as soon as I told them what the Public Utilities Commission does, man, their eyes just glazed right over. But one of the kids asked me who my hero was. Who I look up to. And I told him that, as any candidate here knows, or anybody who's ever tried to run for the legislature before knows, that when you put your name on the ballot, you hope to God you're your own person. That you're going to do right by the people that elect you in your way. But you have to have people that you look up to. And I looked at this kid and I said, there is one man who has blazed a path as to what it means to be a great public servant, and that's Senator Tim Johnson. I told this kid, and I tell anybody that will listen to me, I'm Matt McLarty. I'm a Johnson Democrat. Who else here is a Johnson Democrat? It's not enough that we elect people. We expect something out of them. And with Tim Johnson, he has always delivered for us here in South Dakota. when I worked with the South Dakota Farmers Union and with the National Farmers Union, one of the big things that we were trying to get passed was country of origin labeling, where you go to the store, you buy a steak, it tells you where that steak was produced. If everybody looks in their shirt right now, you can find out where your shirt was from, but we couldn't find out where the beef was from. Well, Tim was already working on this issue, and Tim was a fantastic ally in this. And in 2002, it got into the Farm Bill, and we were all very proud. And then the Bush administration started making some slight adjustments to country of origin labeling, delaying it, pushing it off. Most all politicians in Washington, D.C. could have called it a day, could have called it a success. It was in the bill, it's passed, it's done. Not Tim. Tim went back to work on country of origin labeling. And as he was recovering this past year, Tim got it into the 2008 Farm Bill, and it is now the law of the land because he's stuck with what the Senate can't do. It's that kind of work ethic that we expect in South Dakota, but somehow when our leaders go off to Washington, D.C., sometimes they lose sight of. But as Tim has been in recovery, he has not missed one vote in the United States Senate, and that is something to be commended. And the only way that we are going to be able to develop our infrastructure in South Dakota and in the United States in order to put our renewable energy plans into action is that we need leaders like Stephanie Herseth Salmon and Senator Tim Johnson who understand this issue and are ready to go to work on it. You know, I'd like to just close down real quick with a couple of quotes from famous Americans that I think really kind of crystallize the situation we're in with renewable energy, especially in the state of South Dakota. And the first is from General MacArthur, who said that all our failures can be summed up in two words: too late. Too late to plan, too late to react. But the other quote that I like a lot more is from my favorite American, Elvis Presley. That when I get on the Public Utilities Commission, it's going to be time for a little less conversation and a little more action. Thank you very much.